Hi, I'm Lynn, and I'm at home today. One, because today is my off day, but also because of um, in preparation for what everybody's been talking about, the coronavirus. Today is Friday, March 13th, 2020, and I just want to share some tips and ideas and thoughts about the virus. First off, I you don't have to share these thoughts or ideas if you don't want to, but it's just kind of something to make you go, I see it kind of like the flu, or the new flu, or the new strain of flu. It is actually a strain or variation of SARS, which in the past few years have had outbreaks of SARS. And why do I say that? Well, first of all, the symptoms can be kind of benign. They can either be like a headache. Well, according to one website, could be a headache or sore throat or common cold kind of symptoms. But the more common symptoms that I've seen reported are a dry cough. You might have difficulty breathing. Those are, and a fever. So if you have those type of symptoms, you want to separate yourself. You want to kind of quarantine your own self, and then try to get to a doctor for testing. Because the worst part about the coronavirus is that people have died from that. But people have also died from the flu. Now, I'm not trying to take away from anyone who's been infected by the coronavirus, who has gotten sick or hospitalized, or from anyone or any family member that has actually, passed away or died because they were infected. But what makes it so serious is not, I don't want to diminish the virus, but not the virus itself, but what happens in the body when you get, if you get the coronavirus. What happens is, because the virus is a foreign invader in the body, and I'm outside with nature right now. I just like being outside. But when you get the virus, what happens is the body sees it as a foreign invader, and it tries to attack it. It tries to get rid of it. It tries to eliminate it out of the body. And part of that immune system response is your white blood cells and your macrophages and other parts, other components in your blood system center around the virus and try to attack it. Well, by what it's been reported, I guess it's in your nasal system, it's in your breathing system. So those immune responses surround and attack the virus and try to get rid of it. And when that happens, it triggers things like phlegm, pus, inflammation. So if the virus is in the lungs and the immune system goes to attack it there, and it creates byproduct of it trying to get rid of the virus, the pus and the phlegm, thus the cough, that can set up other triggers and responses in the body. It can damage the liver, the kidneys, for example, and of course the lungs themselves. And one report that I read said that when it affects the lungs, that can diminish the amount of oxygen that you get in your body for life and living, for your life support system, right? And it can also increase like carbon dioxide in the body. So that can also tax your liver and or your kidneys. and generally it's not good. There can be other complications, which actually any or all of those or any combination of those is what actually leads to death. This is a very similar thing that happens with the flu. Most people don't actually die from the flu itself. They die from the side effects, the immune response, the complications, the organ difficulty, and which leads to death. So I want to just point out something. So I looked online, and you can do this too. I looked online, and I looked for death and mortality rates for the U.S., not worldwide, just looking at the death and mortality rates in the U.S. And this is from 2017 data reported by the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC. There were 2.8 million deaths in the U.S. in 2017. 2.8. That's an average of about 860 people dying per every 100,000 people. 100,000 people, I wanted to say dollars, 100,000 people in population. That for the United States, it's about an average lifespan of about 78 years. Now, what does that mean? Well, so far, and I want to look at, I'm going to give you, I'm not going to actually tell you what this website is because it's too long, but you can Google this. Johns Hopkins has this great map and data and survey information out. So it's coronavirus, COVID-19, global cases by Johns Hopkins, CSSE. If you Google that, you should be able to find their site. And they're keeping up-to-date statistics on the number of cases of people with positive cases of coronavirus. And so as of today, Friday, March 13th, 2020, 1,268 confirmed cases in the United States. And that doesn't speak to how many people have actually died. Those are just the confirmed cases, if I've read that website correctly. And now I know this is only March, right? And the first case in the U.S. was not that long ago. But according to, I've seen the similar statistics in many different websites, but I'm going to quote one, and that's WFUV.org, which is a reporting site. It said more than 55,000 people have been affected, and approximately 1,300 have actually died. Now, I'm bringing up these U.S. mortality rate statistics to kind of draw a comparison. In 2017, 650,000 people died from heart disease. 600,000 died from cancer. 170,000 people died from accidents, like just accidental deaths. Not, I did it myself on purpose, but just, oops, I fell down the stairs, I hit my head in the tub, whatever. And the flu and pneumonia, so I had the flu and I had pneumonia. 55,672 reported incidents of incidences of flu and pneumonia in 2017 in the U.S. alone. There's 7 to 8 billion people in the world. Now, again, I'm not trying to make light of the coronavirus, but what I want to shed a light on is to take away some of the fear so that people can address it and act accordingly, and take it seriously. If you feel that you have any of the symptoms, your fever, you're not quite sure, you should call a doctor. Separate yourselves from other people and call a doctor. And going back to, like, I just want to kind of run through this quickly, because a virus is actually a little bit of code or material instructions that tack themselves on to the end of your DNA. So, for example, RNA, ribonucleic acid, that those instructions for bugs flying in the air, I think those are love bugs. They might be love bugs. I mean, Venus is still out hovering over us. If you go out and the sky is clear, take a look up. That bright star that should be, for most of the people in the United States, to see the, so I'm looking at the camera. Say if I were looking south, should be kind of like up this way, depending on what time of night it is. But anyway, I think those are love bugs. So a virus, if you have a virus by itself just on a table, it's not really functional. It's not going to do anything. It has to attach itself to your DNA, and as the DNA gets replicated, now generally DNA just doesn't replicate by itself. The DNA is found inside of a cell. For example, let's take a protein cell. Let's take, like, for example, your like, it's not very big for me, but anyway, so your muscle, right? Think about your muscle in your arms, your legs, your hands, your face, anywhere. And when you look at muscle tissue, they must love me. I really don't want to kill that thing, but if it keeps coming back in my face, maybe they're mosquitoes. Those are love bugs. I'm in Texas. Anyway, the muscle, one cell within the muscle that has DNA inside, which gives that cell instructions on, you're going to be an arm muscle versus a tooth or hair, right? The virus attaches to that, and as that muscle replicates itself, the virus gets replicated as well. So some of the things, what can I do if I want to make sure that I'm as healthy as possible, right? Well, some of the things that you can do are making sure you take care of body and mind. Not too sure about spirit, like what body, mind, spirit, what you would do about that. But for body and mind, you want to feed the body. You want to feed the body good things, like lots of vitamins, lots of minerals, and other nutrients, right? Like phytonutrients, and those must be mosquitoes. You want to feed it high vitamins and mineral content, and you find this, hopefully you find it in lots of good foods, healthy foods. You want to eliminate stress, because stress can lower your immune system. Minerals and vitamins and healthy foods can improve your immune system. Get outside, get a little bit of sun, right? Now, don't burn in the sun, but go out and get a little bit of free vitamin D, right? Free vitamin D. You can also, if you can't get outside, like I'm actually sitting on the ground, which is considered earthing. Getting back, the earth has a magnetic pull and a draw, and you can it's like detoxification on an electronic spectrum for the body. So you can get out and just sit on the grass and get plenty of sleep in order to reduce your stress and increase your immune system. Think about detoxing. You can do detoxing in a number of ways. You can fast if you want to. You want to oxygenate your body as much as you can, and you can oxygenate your body through like exercise, water. Drink plenty of water. Water helps flush out toxins. Especially think about the example that I talked about earlier, how virus actually cause the complications in your body, producing inflammation, phlegm, pus, and other things. Water helps flush that out, and water helps oxygenate the body. In exercise, you can actually move lymph as well, which not many people talk about lymph, but that's a way to keep the body alive, fresh, healthy, and your immune response high. When it comes to the mind, just trying to be happy or even, not being on the negative thoughts, the fear. I'm not saying that you should just forget about the fact that the coronavirus is out there and go make out with every person you see in a large crowd coughing and hacking. I'm not saying do that, but be smart about what you're doing and take care of body. So those are just some thoughts that I have about the coronavirus. I want to say that I hope that you stay as healthy as possible, and if you do feel symptoms, or if you're in doubt about whether or not you have it, again, this is my second, maybe third time mentioning this. Go see a doctor. Call a doctor. Remove yourself from the presence of others, especially crowds, and go see a doctor. So I have concern for people that may contract the illness. Oh, and that's another thing. This is a very popular thing to say, but if your immune system is high, you could actually contract it, not see symptoms. Maybe you pass it on, maybe you don't. Similar to the common cold, which is a virus. Similar to the flu, which is a virus. But we want to make sure that we're making smart decisions. Again, and take care of yourself. Be happy, be healthy, and have a good day. Thank you.